So if you've been following my channel for kind of the last 8 months or so, I've talked very politely about Metroid Prime 4, a game that was announced in E3 2017, and that's pretty much all we've heard from it. I've been very patiently giving updates of the game and looking to whatever details I can about the game, on what we actually can possibly know about it. I honestly can't say this with a straight face, I'm being 100% sarcastic. I just keep making Metroid Prime 4 videos in hopes I actually hear something about it. So far, this logo on the screen is all we got. If you look hard, you find a few of the things that's been mentioned in passing a few other times, but this logo is pretty much all we got. So there's an obvious question to ask because of that, because we saw this logo 4 years ago. Why is Metroid Prime 4 taking so long? And as you might guess, there's actually a relatively obvious answer to this. Back at the start of 2019, they released a video saying they had to restart all of production for this game. They were not going to the right direction they were looking for, so they decided to start from scratch and bring in their friends from Retro Studios to help make the game. It seems like an obvious enough answer to the question, although it still has been 2.5 years since that video. But me, I always look to find the truth, to look for the things that no one else sees. Hey, I gotta say, if you look out for the most popular talk show hosts right now, it works for them, so hey, maybe it works for me too. Let's take an example Nintendo game, Animal Crossing. This game was delayed by a little bit, just because they wanted to make sure it was truly ready for their audience and also made it so their employees weren't super overworked. Now it kinda worked out for them because they came out with an extremely good game for 2020, a year that we really need something to help pass the time. Little awkward timing when the game got released because it forced GameStop to show their true colors, in which we decided to bail them out by investing in them for some reason. But it does show that if you delay a game, it can just be because you want to make sure it's the best it can be, and also ensure that everyone is working on it as thoroughly as possible. And this kind of segues into another point as why the game is delayed. Yeah, this piece of shit. I think we all agree coronavirus made everything quite miserable. Jumping into a volcano might have actually been more fun than having to deal with coronavirus. But no doubt it would be hard to produce a game if you can't really interact with your team all that much or be able to go to the office. And quite frankly, COVID's still kind of lingering around and still delaying a lot of things. So knowing that coronavirus was stuck in the middle of this, well, I guess now 2.5 year tenure of them trying to make the game, would be a big reason why it's delayed a little bit. But they were able to work on something else in the meantime. That'd be Metroid 5, otherwise known as Metroid Dread. Now it is a bit ironic that they are just skipping Metroid Prime 4 to get to this game. Sure, it's because it's 2D versus 3D and all that stuff. It just looks like a funny joke. But it does show they have resources into a Metroid game. Is it the same resources? Well, technically no. They say Dread is being made by Mercury Stream and Nintendo EPD, while Metroid Prime 4 is pretty much Retro Studios. So it's not like they're really taking resources from one another, but there might be some resources in Nintendo who went more to Dread rather than Metroid Prime 4. I don't really know how the corporate's set up. It's probably set up incorrectly though, because it's a corporation. They're all set up terribly. Your little 3-year-old with his building blocks instead of a more stable structure than any kind of corporate board. And I got one more reason why the game's been delayed. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, I gotta be blunt, it has been 2.5 years since they said they're restarting the game. Over 4 years since we saw the logo. And this is all we've seen so far. This is like an example of a game in purgatory. You'd feel like there's at least something else you can show, like maybe a picture of what Samus looks like. Or maybe just a snapshot of what the gameplay would be like. There's gotta be something. But at this moment, this is all we got. An attractive looking logo, if I must say so myself. But this logo also feels like the one message you got from the girl. Because it literally is just one message and you'll never get a second. And don't get me wrong, it's probably a tough game to make. This is the first Metroid game on a Switch. I don't think they did one for the Wii U. You're basically making the game engine from scratch. But there's gotta be some deficiencies going on with making this game, being as there's just no new information about it. So here are all answers to why the game is taking so long. I think I kind of covered a lot of things because I am a genius investigator after all. But I do have one bonus reason as to why this game is taking so long. It is clearly because they're doing it in spite and just to hold off my investigation skills to ensure I do not get the right answer. I got a feeling there's some pettiness involved just to annoy me. And you know what? It is working.